We have to go clean the chamber for them to prepare it for tonight. And then, like, they run across this stage around behind the guards, and it really reminded me of the entry um, onto the Noe stage, with the big long walkway around where you can watch them approach the stage. And that was annoying in Noe because it was so slow and drawn out and just time consuming to watch people walk on the stage. But here it almost made you realize the next stage, the next big moment was in the room, and the room itself was almost a character because it was such a big important thing that they got to. This wasn't the only time that the Noe approach to walking and movement really made itself evident to me. Lady Asajit, in particular, was always doing very, very careful, deliberate movements. Like when she went to get the wine and she slowly, in absolute silence, she got up and turned and walked with tiny mincing steps back into the shadows, disappeared, stepped back a moment later with the wine, and again, tiny mincing steps back up onto stage. Like, it was very much a Noe. And I know that they don't allow women, or they didn't allow women in their plays. But to be honest, the way she moved and the way she talked, the little that she talked, and her facial movements, or lack thereof, really made me wonder if she was a man to begin with. That brings me to her facial movements themselves. It was the way her eyebrows were drawn, like super high, and her complete lack of emotion really reminded me of the Fukai masks that they would use in Noe. Particularly the woman who lost her child, and that blank, like white face, very, very large, all the features drawn down and small and controlled. And she was like that the entire play, almost to a shocking degree. Like when she was telling her husband that she was finally with child, and that the prophecy that the witch gave them in the forest, they didn't have to come true because they could have children, like that. The turning point, and she was still just sitting there silently, head down, very, very respectful, in the Noe way of acting. And I think that really, it made an impact on her character. Another way that the Noe stood out was the witch. When she told the story, it immediately reminded me, when they were walking in the back and there was that huge pile of corpses, it reminded me of that story, or the play that we watched, where it was the old lady and the three priests in the woods, and they went into her house, and she's like, I don't have much, but please come in. And then she went out to gather firewood after warning them not to go in the back room. And it turned out she was a demon with a pile of corpses in the back room. Like, that was exactly what happened, almost. Like, the witch was, giving them warnings and everything, and then they rushed in, and, like, right behind her, like, when she disappeared, there was a pile of corpses in her little house, which wasn't really a house. It was more bamboo-shaped like a house. But that also seemed to lend itself to the Noe feel of it, the stylized image that you knew what it was, even though it really wasn't a house. I mean, it provided no shelter whatsoever. Finally, I think that Noe was chosen for the storytelling because Shakespeare itself is a very mystical and magical thing, and we really don't have that anymore. And especially when the time period when this movie was made, I don't think that was something that was commonly accepted. So moving it back to when there were witches and demons and such, it really contributed to the way the story came across. It showed really, really strongly in the pace of the movie. In the beginning, you're sitting there watching them ride their horses, and it's very, very slow, and you hear them telling the background story, and I don't know if it was a word-for-word translation, but you're reading it on the screen, and then it kind of builds. It goes slow, and then the next section, it's a little bit faster, and you find out about he's talking about the different things that have occurred, about how his troops have betrayed him, and then his wife dies, and then in the end, it's like frantic pace. Like he's running, being shot at, and and he's got that crazy eyes thing going on that it was almost distracting. I almost wished for the Noe masks, but it did definitely feel like it had the 3 different stages of a Noe play. I think I would definitely watch something like this again, and I think that they need to do more. Knowing that Noe has been preserved for so long, I really believe that it's something that should be continued. There's a lot of other plays and stuff by Shakespeare that I think would lend themselves to being done in this style. And like I said before, with our CGI, it could be something really dramatic. Thank you.